What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to FlixGo. I'm Fan, and today we have got something exciting to discuss. We will be taking a closer look at the recently released image from James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie. Before discussing the details of Superman's new suit, let's talk about what appears in the city skyline through what is shown in the image. First look at Metropolis, Superman's home city. Seen through the window as Superman finishes putting on his boots, the city skyline of what is presumably Metropolis is featured. However, major landmarks such as the Daily Planet or Lex Tower are now here to be found in the particular view. That said, seeing more of Superman's city when the first trailer is released should be pretty exciting. Superman's villain is teased with giant laser. Who does it belong to? More important than in Metropolis at night is the giant orb in the sky firing a giant laser that can be seen right outside Superman's window, potentially being the reason why his chest already appears battle damage. It will be fascinating to learn who this giant laser belongs to. After all, Lex Luthor is confirmed to appear in 2025 Superman, played by Nicholas Hoult, though his giant weapon almost appears to be more alien in nature. However, purple is one of his signature colors in the comics. The giant laser being teased could also belong to the DC Universe's version of Brainiac, a classic Superman villain who many fans have wanted to see in live action for years. Angela Speakas, the engineer, and her ability to create nearly anything using nanites shouldn't be discounted either as the weapons builder. A member of the Authority, the engineer will be played by Mara Gabriela de Ferreira in the new Superman movie. Green Lantern is teased in new Superman image. Is Guy Gardner already on the scene? It's also important to note that there looks to be a green beam of light being fired at the back of this giant flying laser. However, its source is conveniently hidden right behind the window just above Superman's head in this new image. Regardless, it's more than safe to assume this is an exciting tease for the DC Universe's first confirmed Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. It's already being confirmed by DC Studios and James Gunn that Nathan Fillion will be playing Guy Gardner in 2025 Superman, joining another heroes such as Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and Element Man as established heroes the Man of Steel will likely encounter in his new movie. To that end, they may give Superman a hand to face whatever this new threat might be. Judging by the wear his costume had already taken in this image, perhaps they are buying him time to recover, a sign that whatever's attacking Metropolis will likely rival the DC Universe's Superman in power levels. Before discussing the details of Superman's new suit, let's take a moment and tell me, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this analysis, smash the like button and subscribe to FlixGo. Now, let's continue. Superman's new red boots, modern and stylized. Superman's new boots are classically red in contrast to his predominantly blue suit. They also have the established devotes at the top of the boots, though they are less pointed as seen with past Superman. And instead, they are more like upside-down trapezoids, sort of the opposite of Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. Overall, the boots feature additional modern stylization with lines running down and the length of each one, somewhat matching those features on the suit itself. That said, the stylization doesn't feel over the top as can happen with many live-action superhero suits. Superman's red cape, darker than Reeve but more vibrant than Cavill. Superman is sitting down in this new DCU image as he puts on one of his boots. As such, it's hard to see that cape in full, though the cape appears to be a darker shade of red than Christopher Reeve's Superman from the 1978 film. At the same time, it does look to be more vibrant than Henry Cavill's was in the more recent DC Extended Universe, as his suit's color were less bright for the sake of realism and to better match the visual aesthetic of DC Extended Universe director Zack Snyder. Classic red Superman trunks. While Henry Cavill's Superman went without David Corenswet's Superman costume does include the traditional red trunks over the blue suit. This is always hotly debated whenever a new costume is in the works, be it in the comics or on the screen. While some argue that the trunks make Superman feel dated, others argue that the costume feels incomplete without them, as they have become an iconic part of his look since 1938. While it's hard to see anything more about the trunks from this first image, it does confirm that they are indeed a part of the new Superman suit. David Corenswet's Superman has his hair curl, an iconic part of Kal-El's look. James Gunn's newly released Superman's image also confirms that David Corenswet Clark Kent will also have the signature split hair curl in the DCU. While Henry Cavill's Superman didn't have a hair curl until his post-credit scenes in Black Adam, it's often a classic part of Superman's hairstyle both on the page and on the screen. Both Christopher Reeve and Superman Returns' Brandon Roos sported the curl, though Tyler Hoechlin's Kal-El scene in the CW Superman and Lois followed suit with the DC Extended Universe Man of Steel and opted out. As such, Corenswet having the classic Superman hair curl feels like a strong nod to the DC's hero's long legacy. Superman's classic gold belt worked well with the red trunks. The new Superman image confirms Corenswet's Man of Steel will also be wearing a gold belt as well. It can just be made out between his arms and knee, so this image doesn't do much but confirm that he will have one. That said, it does look as though the belt might be segmented rather than being all one continuous band as seen with some versions of Superman's costume in the comics. However, adding the belt will likely help the trunks look better as a more natural part of the costume as it's depicted in live action. Some versions even have a similar S logo as a belt buckle. Superman's new costume has new 52 notes, stylized textures, and a collar. While several elements of the new costume call back Superman's classic roads, there are also some nods to his more modern style as well. This includes the new boots, as well as the various lines pepping running down and across the blue sections of the suit. This feels like a nod to DC Comics' new 52 reboot from 2011 and the black lines that covered several of the Justice League's new costumes. Although the lines on this new Superman's costume are certainly more reserved, they do help convey the same kind of modern feel while also blending rather well with the more classic elements. Corenswet's Superman costume is also one of the first live-action suits to feature a collar. This feels like a nod to Superman's new 52 costume as well, featuring a more pronounced collar compared to past costumes on the page as such. It certainly helps this new Man of Steel look more unique compared to the prior iterations. Superman's new S on his chest, a new style logo for a new Superman. Although James Gunn did reveal the DCU Superman logo in March of 2024, it's very exciting to see the full Superman logo with the new context of Kal-El's entire costume. The new design has been compared to the Comics Kingdom Come version of Superman, and many have praised its appearance as a Kryptonian house sigil that is then construed by humanity as a letters S on their new hero's chest, rather than essentially being a big S to begin with. It's also worth noting that the logo appears worn, as if Superman has already taken a big hit while saving the world. In conclusion, after analyzing the recently released image from James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie, we have uncovered these details. What are your thoughts? Share them in the comments below, we would love to hear from you. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe to FlixGo, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next videos. Your support means a lot to me. See you in the next video.